What's up, guys? Different video today. So as you guys know, my name is Ceeeeeedo Cards, and I've got a very special person with me as well. We met on the UK Riftbound Discord. He's actually Canadian, which is pretty cool. People from different countries are all welcome. We just specifically have have it as a UK space just so we can find stock easily. It's so hard in the UK to find stock. Restocks are bit of a mess. Some vendors before they were getting 3, 4, 5 cases, and now they've gotten 1 case in the restocks. Pretty crazy. But I've got here my special guest. How do you want to be known as? Northbound TCG?
Yeah, or you can call me Alex.
Alex, yeah, sounds good. My name is Christian.
Yep.
Actually, I've never said my name on the channel just yet. My name is Christian. We'll figure out in the future if Alex wants to be on video camera how to get both of us on camera. I was struggling to even figure out how to have it on just have it on Discord. We're using a Discord video. Yeah, so I just did some testing because it's the first time we've done this. But Alex, also Northbound TCG. So today we wanted to. So honestly, the reason why I reached out to Alex because we've been talking a lot in Discord about Riftbound and just about how amazing this game is. And we were going so in depth in conversations that I said, you know what, it would be great for us to just have a chat like this, see where it goes. We've got 2 names for the we'll call it podcast. It won't be like a weekly thing. It may happen weekly if we just keep firing things off. But I was thinking Rift off the script. He was thinking off the Rift. We'll figure out a name. Who knows? We might just mix and match. I have no clue. But Alex, you wanted to discuss a conversation around Riftbound. People saying Riftbound can't be as big as like One Piece, Pokemon, things like that. Do you wanna? We can start. We can fire it off. Yeah, fire away. Let's have that conversation.
Yeah, so thanks for inviting me. And the first thing I would like to talk is the future of Riftbound as a TCG. So a lot of people are saying that Riftbound needs to replace Pokemon or Magic or One Piece to be successful, but I do not agree with that. I think that what matters the most, it just needs to be the primary TCG for its universe. So
okay, right. Elaborate on that. So the primary TCG for its universe.
Yeah. So the most important part is the IP itself. So Riftbound comes from League of Legends, and it already has millions of fans.
Millions.
So millions of fans. Yeah.
Die-hard fans as well. Like you can't even when it comes to League of Legends, like there is such a deep attachment to each character. Like I don't know, when did you start playing League of Legends?
That's a very good question. I think I started in 2013. What about you?
Me too, 2013. My to be honest, so my good family friend at the time, I was like 17 at the time. I saw him playing League of Legends. I had no clue what it was. That's just the first time I'd ever seen it. And then a year later, I was at a friend's house. An old friend of mine that went to my secondary school. So that's ages 11/12 to 16. He was playing League of Legends one day when I was like in 2013, and I was like, "What is that?" And he mentioned it, and he let me play it. And he loved to play Zyra. Zyra 2013. Do you remember? She was mid lane. She was really strong. Yeah, and then the first champion I played, I don't know why I chose it, but it was Morgana in mid lane, and all I did was play. I just played Morgana. I'm a one-trick pony. I admit, I'm a one-trick pony. That was just how my brain was conditioned. But I played Morgana every day. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day. Morgana mid, just grinding, loving it. People don't understand the deep connection and attachment people have to characters. To this day, even though I've not played since 2022, end of 2022, but I saw a deep, I watch it every day still. If I'm not watching League of Legends, I'm watching TFT, and I'm just engrossed in this world. Yeah.
So you just touched a very good point, which is the second point I was going to bring. It has iconic characters. So what I mean by that is, for instance, if we're looking at One Piece.
Yeah.
You are watching in anime, and you are watching these characters. So you have an attachment through watching.
Oh, that's
in Riftbound,
so key. Yeah.
You're playing. You are playing a character that you played you know,
Yeah, yeah.
multiple hundreds,
Multiple.
thousands of games
Thousands.
on League of Legends. So
Yeah.
there's the deeper attachment to the
That's
characters in itself.
that's such a great
So
point. Yeah, yeah. Sorry,
you're not
yeah.
watching, you're not watching Morgana. You played Morgana. You are Morgana. So I think there's a deep sentiment to characters with League of Legends players.
That's so true. That's so key. You make such a great point. Like One Piece, Pokemon as well, and that's a really good point. Pokemon, One Piece. I mean, Pokemon. To be fair, you played. You know, we all played. Let me not Pokemon. One Piece. You know, One Piece. You watch. You know, we've just watched it, and it is a good. It is a good manga. I mean, I will say, like I watched 800 episodes. I really tried with this One Piece with this anime. But to me, what killed me was the pacing. I really tried, and I really enjoyed it, but the pacing was just so brutal. But I get why it's so popular. Like, I get the characters. You know, I understand why there's such demand for it. But I completely get your sentiment, and I really agree with you in that, like, the depth of, I guess, like, if you would look at the overall scope of, like, the, what's the word? Maybe how deep someone clings onto the IP, like, because of League, because we played those characters for thousands of hours. I'll admit, 10 hours a day sometimes, back to back, 5, 6, 7 days a week, just played it deeply. One or two characters. For me, it was usually Morgana, then a bit of Swain, some Echo, some J4 in the jungle sometimes, some Volibear in the jungle. Really, it was Volibear, J4, Echo in the jungle, Morgana, mid, and Swain in the mid lane. And then top lane, honestly, if I got picked top lane in like field role, like, I was just a mess. I was terrible, but I used to play Yorick. Even like old school Yorick, I just did so much. But like, it's that deep attachment, because like you said, you put thousands of hours learning that character, learning its counters, learning just
The matchups.
the matchups, just winning and losing. All those hours, we just struggle and enjoyment. Like, nothing compares, nothing comes close. And so I think, even though the TCG is still so small, like, people are coming in slowly, but the people that are coming in, especially if they come from League of Legends, like, they are so deeply attached and invested to just be in this space. Like, I've seen so many people, just how they talk about, like, Riftbound in the main Discord, which has like 30,000 people, in our Discord. Like, they're so deeply into what's going on that, like, I don't think you get that in One Piece, even in Pokemon or Magic the Gathering. I never played it. I've always known of it. I've never played it, but, you know, I don't think you get that anywhere else, to be honest.
Yeah, and just mind you, I think that One Piece is a really, really good game in itself, and the community behind it is massive. And I believe that it will be a really good TCG on the long run.
Yeah.
But I do believe that Riftbound can coexist with these big TCGs.
I think so.
And one of the point that I wanted to bring is obviously the attachment to the characters, because people are not only watching, they have played that specific character for thousands of hours. And it really make it iconic and nostalgic when you're seeing your character having a card. You want to be part of it, you want to own that piece of card. And yeah, that's basically it. And my third point would be the competitive culture. So League has a really big competitive culture that is international. So I do believe that also that's going to play a huge role in the playable part of the game.
That's so true, and that's really important as well. I'm sure people in the background listening to you are just like clicking their fingers, and like, I agree so much, because, like, inherently League of Legends is so competitive, and that again forces you to be even more focused and, like, invested. And then that sort of person is then moving into this Riftbound space, and you're seeing already people are really die hard in terms of learning the game, like, I don't play the TCG myself personally. I'll admit, while we're here, like, League of Legends has burnt my brain as it relates to video games. Like, I can't play anything anymore. Like, all those hours of playing League has just melted me. You hear it all the time. People talk about games just don't matter anymore after League. Like, nothing gives them that itch, and that's me. I admit, like, I've not really played another game with like a deep investment since that. Really, I grew up on Nintendo, a lot of Mario, a lot of Zelda, Smash Bros, Ocarina of Time. Every Zelda game I've basically played and completed. And then I grew up on Metroid, and then I grew up like Xbox 360, some Gears of War, things like that, Call of Duty, which was great. And then League of Legends came around, and like since then, I don't know a single game I've really played. Maybe a few Zelda games here and there that have come out, but that's it. Like nothing pulled me anymore. And I admit I got addicted to the game, but it was addictive because not just you. I think there's some. I'm not much of a. I don't play many team. Well, I play. I don't know. League of Legends was so special in its 5-player format. Like the level of complexity and the sort of brain capacity you have to give and commit to each game you're in is so intense and so deep that like when you win, like the combination of all the effort you've made, and you then think about all the effort the other players would have made, especially if they're playing someone super complex. You know, even ADCs are just playing like crazy. Then like if you have a Z, let's say I'm in the jungle and there's a Z there that's just popping off, and you just feel like all the complexity and that they've put into their gameplay as well, like all paying off. Like that high I used to get. Nothing came close after that. Afterwards, I was like, "What is video games? I don't even care anymore." I just play League.
Yeah, and if you do remember when League came and you start playing it, I'm assuming that everybody you knew at that time was playing League of Legends. Everybody wanted to improve at the game.
Yeah,
you know, you either play like Twisted Tree Line in the 3v3.
Twisted Tree Line. Oh my god, that's a pro, man. Yeah.
And yeah, over time we got a big bond with that game. Everybody start trying to improve, and then that's where you start seeing the min-maxing of everything, the micro play, the macro play, learning the phases, knowing your power spikes and so on.
Yeah, powerful, man. There's so much to like. It's like
there's a lot of that.
It's almost subconscious at this point, but like there's so much of that learning. Every time you play, you see this, you win against, let's say you win against Zed, and you face Zed again, this Zed absolutely destroys you, just laughs at your face, you get like 9x reports, everyone's like 9x this character. It's a very valid point, and I believe for these facts, that's why I think that Riftbound has a huge head start. And the key question you got to ask yourself is, can even a small fraction of these fans convert to players and collectors? Yeah.
And if the answer is yes, then it is 100% going to be self-sustaining.
I think so. Self-sustaining is such a key word, and I think so as well. I feel like it's really off to a good start. As we said before on Discord, like it's really off to a good start in terms of like the players just clinging onto the game so far. And even just the prices we're seeing, to be honest, like I think it's a bit bonkers. So I do think there's a bit of what's the word? Speculation. So for example, Kaisa came out maybe initially like 1.4k. I think Kaisa and Ahri at the bat were really expensive, but I think that was a mixture of natural just demand for their character. And I think that's something that's really special again about League of Legends is that I think the demand we see in terms of the price is very much linked to collectors just really wanting that character, and that they've put in, like you said, we've said hundreds, thousands of hours into that one character, that like they just want to have a piece of that character in physical form. I can't wait for a Morgana card. I know she came out in 2013. I played her like one trick pony until like maybe end of 2015, I kind of stopped playing her as a one trick because she was slowly getting, too many characters that were just crazy were being released. Morgana mid just wasn't really viable anymore. So I started playing Swain a lot more, I started playing Echo a lot more. But like, I just want a Morgana card. So if Morgana gets like a signed card, I want it. And if I had the money, that's the issue. Like I've got a mortgage now, I've got a kid now, he's 10 months old. Like if I still had less dependencies on me, I would, the Morgana cards, I would buy it. I would buy it, or I'd buy, if I don't buy it, I'd buy as many boxes as I can to keep pulling until I can. Like, because I just want Morgana. Like, every time I think about Morgana, there's like a deep stomach feeling that I get, like around the sternum. It's just, I like the character. I played it for so many hours. It gave me so much joy. I want it in physical form. So I feel like these prices that we're seeing, even though they're so crazy out the bat, I feel like a lot of it is kind of that natural desire from each collector of that champion, that we're seeing the price, and then a little bit of price speculation that we're seeing with like scalpers and whatnot.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, it is LeBlanc. So I've played thousands of hours of LeBlanc, so I definitely understand the excitement that you're
she was so sick.
that you're having
she's so sick.
regarding Morgana.
Yeah.
And I think it brings us to a very good and important topic, which is the early stage of market. So it's normal. Early markets always look like chaotic.
Yeah.
So you'll have spikes, you'll have crashes, you'll have rebounds. But
that
that is normal price discovery.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a card that is volatile doesn't mean it's weakness. Silence is weakness. So if there's active trading and discussion, then it has a healthy ecosystem.
I think so 100%. And then I guess it's also tied to, I guess the, what's the word? Maybe not the breadth of the character. I guess not the popularity, because for example, let's take Volibear. Everyone loves Volibear. I'd say the player base is probably pretty low. It's still loved by people, probably a lot more lower than Ahri, Kaisa. So I guess that might play into why its price point is a bit lower. I think it's a super dope card. I played loads of Volibear pre-rework, like when his E used to fare the minions. I loved it. I think this Volibear is, I'd probably say, a bit better than the previous one. I think they did a good job of reworking him. But I feel like, I think that's still an acceptable price. And like you said, I think it's price discovery. People are still coming into the game, and no one, how many Volibear collectors are in the game yet? And I think that's a good point as well, in that we are seeing this Jinx card rise, for example, slowly in price. I mean, it did start off like a bit higher, as most of them did, and it dropped a bit, but now it's been climbing again up quite quickly. So it's about 800 right now. And I think it's just a case of those collectors just aren't in the TCG yet. Like, I'm still so baffled by how cheap the Yasuo, because I think this card is just so sick. I think it's like, it just captures Yasuo, like his reign and his terror, and I think captured him so well. But then this card was like super cheap compared to Kaisa and Ahri, and I just think it's because like the Yasuo collector isn't here yet. Like, he's just not in the TCG yet. He's busy playing League of Legends, or maybe he's just busy playing, I don't know, Valorant, or he's just off doing other things. Because I feel like Yasuo players are a bit more, not what's the word? I don't want to say Chad, not Chad. Maybe like just more young, maybe soccer player. They're going out with their friends, hanging out with their friends. They're not as antisocial. So I feel like they're not as antisocial as, say, like a top laner. I feel like top laners are just antisocial people. Like, I feel like a mid laner is going out, talking to friends, hanging out, and like doing other things. Yes, so just where we left off, do you wanna, Alex, say your part as well, just in all of this?
Yeah. So we might be looking at Volibear and Yasuo, and you might be wondering why the prices are so low compared to other cards. Yeah. And I mean, it is a lot of variables to why this is happening. There's not one specific thing, but I think that one of the big factor is it's just part of the TCG culture. So when a new TCG comes out, a huge community of TCG players just hop on the train and just like discovering a new TCG, and get to play the game. And they might not be League players, they might be Magic the Gathering players, and they quit or they took a break, and now they want to discover this new TCG, or Yu-Gi-Oh, or Pokemon, or One Piece even. Like, there's all sort of players of all kind of TCG that likes to discover new TCG, and also they have the experience, so they usually stomp the new players. And that sentiment it's kind of like smurfing on League of Legends.
Right.
It feels good, right? Because you're just destroying the new players. So I do believe that these players that are currently playing Riftbound, a good amount of them don't really have an attachment to the characters. So I think that as more League of Legends players convert to being players / collectors, that's when you will see these massive price goes up.
That's a good point.
And another important part is you need to understand the cycle of the market. So the way it works is usually you have the number one thing, which is expansion. So that's when you get a new set release, when there's new players that enter the market. And then what do you see? You see the prices rise quickly, right? Everybody are feeling optimistic. That's why you see the price goes up. Then you get the correction. So correction, that's when you see the cards being overpriced, and then too much product are being open, and that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
we're seeing right now.
We are,
Because
especially
we had a
resets
wave
as well.
two. Yeah, we had wave two, and that's when you see the correction. So it's a good thing. We have the correction, and then after the correction is the accumulation, right? So this is where the price will stabilize, where the volume will slow down. Like currently, you see, we don't have a wave three yet.
Yeah.
So the volume slows, and the people that are not so much interested, well, which I call them the weekends, they leave. They sell their cards, and that is the good time for long-term collectors to start buying.
It's a good point. It's a good point you made as well. Yeah, yeah. No, continue. Sorry, I'm listening. Yeah.
Because when nothing exciting is happening, that's when it's powerful. That's when it's a good time to buy.
That's so true.
And to position yourself as a collector.
That's so true. And it's, you know, I guess it's what I'm really excited about Riftbound as well, and I'm sure this is going to be for many people listening as well, what are listening to us. Like I love Pokemon. I've got a bunch of boxes in Pokemon because I just like it. But I've never really had like it was based on like nostalgia as we've discussed. Like I love Pokemon, but I haven't played Pokemon properly for like the last 30 now, probably like the last 12 years. I mean, last time I really stuck deep into Pokemon, it was Gen 3, for example, like Hoenn. Like Hoenn is not been Diamond, but it was just Hoenn ages ago, but I loved it. You know, everyone talks about Charizard and so on, so but I really loved Gen 2 with Chikorita, with that space with Celebi, and then Hoenn was great with Jirachi, but it's heavily nostalgia, and I do love it. But as you said of weekends, I mean, it's interesting because Riftbound is here, and I've not done it yet, but I am very much close to just selling a lot of my Pokemon stock. Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff I really like, a bunch of booster boxes, like Evolving Skies, I think it's such a dope set. Fusion Strike, Lost Origins, great sets. But like a bunch of stuff I just want to just dump and just buy League of Legends because I'm so invested in League of Legends in the now. And I think that's a key thing as well that makes One Piece so attractive right now, is that it's the in thing, in the sense that like Pokemon is very much a nostalgia thing for most people. I think it's very clear in the Pokemon space. You talk to people or you watch videos on YouTube, it's very much a nostalgia thing. You know, they grew up in it, they love it. They don't really care too much about the current Pokemon right now and the current sort of Scarlet and Violet and Sun and Moon. But like it's all nostalgia. But with One Piece, with Riftbound, like it's the thing is popular right now. Like One Piece is at its peak. You know, Gear 5 Luffy is just absolutely sick. I love it. The most recent arcs, Elbaf is amazing. I mean, Egghead was amazing. Elbaf is looking to be dope. And League of Legends is League of Legends. It's popular right now. It's, you know, like we've discussed, it's the #1 esports in the world, and that's such a crazy title to have. I mean, League of Legends was like the #1 grossing game for years. Like it overtook World of Warcraft. It was just #1, unbeatable for ages, and it was only then beat by its mobile competitor, mobile version that someone made against it. Like it's just #1, and so these things are like in the now, and they're so popular now that like this is what's driving prices. It's not based on nostalgia on like, you know, 10 generations ago. It's like it's the now, and so I feel like I feel like One Piece is so popular because it's a mixture of like people that watch One Piece that really love One Piece. They're buying it because it's the now thing, and so they're willing to pay a high price for that thing because it's in their mind right now. It's just bubbling. It's awesome. And then you have speculators come in and snatch up all of this, but because these One Piece diehard collectors are so like invested and really want these cards, they're willing to pay those prices, and then it's just ramping things up. And of course, you probably have spectators against spectators, speculators against speculators, just kind of pulling the price up. But I still think there's a genuine cohort of like just One Piece collectors that don't really care and just want to buy the in thing, and I think that's gonna happen with League of Legends. Not just yet. I feel like we're not there yet, and there isn't enough sets yet. You know, we have. Again, set 1 is still. I still think it's a dope set. I think Kaisa is a dope card. You know, I think the Ahri card is just absolutely gorgeous. I think it's such a fantastic card. Even Miss Fortune, I was blown away by Miss Fortune as well. I've never really played Miss Fortune. You know, her style as an ADC wasn't really my thing. But it's a gorgeous card, and yes, it was so dope. Yeah, you know, I always say, you know, Victor. He's cool here, but he's not Machine Herald Victor. Like we all grew up on Machine Herald Victor, you know, and like. You know, the arcane version is cool. It's fantastic. It's such a gorgeous card. I can see why the price isn't say as high as Ahri or Kaisa, when he's been played almost as many hours as you know Ahri and Kaisa, for example. But like, where am I? Where's my point? I've lost my point. But do you want to continue? Do you want to go on?
Yeah, actually, well, I point the 3 points, which is, like I said, expansion, correction, accumulation, and the last one is growth. So
Yeah.
after accumulation, where the ecosystem is strengthened, this is where the player base growth, where organized play improves, and that there's more demand naturally. And
Yeah.
I think what happened with One Piece, right, is you had these big fans, right, the ones that are heavily invested into that.
Yeah.
They just start buying quietly. So
Yeah,
they
it's
saw the
true.
potential. The sets were already selling steadily. The players were growing and collectors were just buying quickly. And what happened with the product? Well,
It's
it
true.
was slowly drying up.
Yeah,
And
drying up.
then I think that supply hits a breaking point. So the stores couldn't restock.
Yeah.
The online inventory also thinned. And people realized the scarcity was actually real.
And the
And
scarcity is
then,
serious as well. Like, I mean,
yeah,
I think to your point as well. Like, we've come from a space. Did you collect much Pokemon? Are you into Pokemon TCG?
yes, but really at a young age when I was hustling in primary
Right.
school.
Yeah. And like, I just feel like in terms of the Pokemon TCG, people have come in and like they've been in the Pokemon space. They've understood the TCG space in the context of Pokemon, as in there's just so much supply everywhere. Every vendor has some Pokemon. You can just buy it here or there. Yes, it's now kind of pretty hard to get, but everyone just felt like you can get it all the time. And then they've moved into One Piece, and there's just nothing. There's no stock. There's hardly any cards out there, and the price is already this high. So it just the supply was just absolutely just drained, stocked up instantly by like everyone. And the price, I mean, the Gear 5 Luffy, when I started looking into it in September, was $3,000. It's now $18,000. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy, but at the same time, it's such a sick card as well. Like, I have to admit, One Piece has done such a good job in just creating dope looking cards. And I think League of Legends has done the same, and I think League of Legends has so much space to make really awesome cards. I think set 1 is just a banger. I think this Leona card here, for example, just exemplifies kind of how dope it could be. Like, I think the art direction they're giving, the agency and the freedom they're giving the artists to just create what they want for their characters, it is dope and amazing. So like me seeing Leona here, I can see the kind of agency and space and scope of what they can create, and I think it can be so amazing. And I think this Leona card is such a gorgeous card and such a great depiction of Leona. I think Leona collectors should be so happy seeing a card like this for their champion, because it does her in so much good justice and good light, and it's gorgeous. So I think to your point, the supply just ran out, and now people are just absolutely swallowing. And it's ran out, but people are still running into what little supply there is for One Piece.
Yeah, and basically after the breaking point of the supply, the social media started seeing the price rise. So YouTubers notice, and TikTok and Twitter notice,
YouTube
and then you start
Shorts,
having these
viral.
big influencers like Logan Paul start to show
Crazy.
these boxes of One Piece, and then everybody jumps on it, and then out of nowhere, what happened? It triggered FOMO. So for people that don't know, FOMO means that you're fear of missing out. So then everybody started buying, and I think now One Piece is entering something called a bubble. I think it will take a while before we see a correction, and to me, a bubble is when there's no correction.
That's a good that's a great way to describe a bubble. I think people like to talk to say, oh, is the TCG space in a bubble? I think no. I don't think it's in a bubble personally. I do think we're in a state where like everything's just climbing up and up. TCG as a whole, we've seen with Pokemon, it has dipped. I think naturally, I do think this space is going to keep going up in price, but I do think that it will continue to sustain itself. So I don't think it's going to pop anytime soon. I think it's going to continue to sustain itself. But One Piece definitely is in a bubble right now, in the sense that like it's at this, it's just rising and rising. Something's got to give. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, something's got to give.
Well, as long as people can make money, there's always going to be. It's still going to be worth more and more and more. It's going to do exactly like Pokemon, in my opinion.
Yeah.
People will take advantage and try to make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
I think that One Piece will be successful for a while before we see something similar than Pokemon. I think that, like I said, to me, a bubble is when there's no correction, because there's four things in the cycle. The game expands, so there's new sets, then the new players enter, and then there's a hype. Then the correction is when people start to be scared, so the price
Yeah.
fall, because the reality settles in, and then the game kind of becomes quiet. This is just an accumulation.
Yeah.
So the volume slow downs, and then the people that were just there for the hype decide to leave the game.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, that's why the long-term collectors start buying. And then at fourth, it's the growth. It's so that just the demand increase naturally because the game is good. So if you have all these four things in your cycle, then you know you're not in a bubble. It's really when there's no more correction. And you could see some cards in the market of Riftbound, mostly one that doesn't look like it's having any correction, but it actually has, but in a different way.
Is that
And I would
Kaisa?
like to point out, no, it's the Teemo GGZ.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And I'm sorry, rip for you.
Like I'm still so like it's just like when it and it, I guess to your point, GG Ezo, GG Easy Teemo. Like I think this card is such a special card. Let me change this to because dollars will be easier for just people to go off of rather than pounds. I mean, crazy numbers we're seeing right now, and I do think it's a bit of speculation, but I think at the same time I feel like this is the only really cool card that us as League players can latch onto as a collective. In the sense that like we all, Teemo has his Origins card, but like I feel like this rendition of Teemo is very much geared around just kind of the Teemo player, whereas this Teemo here is like the love and hate and frustration of Teemo as a character combined and just all put into one card. GG, like I see GG Easy from Teemo and I'm just enraged. I'm like, this is crazy. Like the frustration playing against a Teemo, we've all played against him so many times, either you feed him by accident or he comes into your lane just fed and just absolutely just, he two auto attacks a Q and ignite and he runs away.
Well, I just think the GGEZ is so iconic to the game of League of Legends.
Yeah, so iconic.
And the card in itself is very, very beautiful and toxic.
Beautiful and toxic.
Yeah, so I think the community kind of accepted this as like a top art or like a fan favorite card.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's why you see the Teemo GGEZ being more expensive than some of the other Teemo cards.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, that card is only pulled from the set 1 Nexus Knight packs. And that means it has a very low supply. And I think what's happening, the correction is happening. So the difference is just, it's a shallow pullback. So the card dips for 10 to 20%. And then it quickly finds support.
So instantly, and I feel like it's because like instantly get support, and I feel like it's because more and more people are coming into League of Legends from Riftbound from League of Legends, and they see Teemo. They get that he's a bit expensive, but they see Teemo and they see that card, and their frustration and emotion, all of it just culminates. They're like, I get it, it's gorgeous, and I want it. So like, yeah, I feel like I said, it dips a bit, maybe 10%, 20%, and then it finds support instantly and just drives up even more.
Yeah, so I do think that this card, the price point is here to stay. I don't think we're going to be looking at a crazy dip, just because it is a fan favorite and there's a huge demand behind it. And every time there's cards of it, you have a huge demand behind it that supports it.
Yeah, and I think even Nexus Knights, I saw one here, like a sealed box of Nexus Knight. Like I guess the LGS shouldn't really be doing this. But like this alone, I don't know how many are in this. Maybe they say
it is 48.
48. Okay, and this is selling for 1.5k. Like I saw another one. It says this is ended because it's no longer available. So I usually suggest it's been sold, but maybe they're just taking it off. But like I saw another one that was sold properly for like similar numbers, and it's like they shouldn't do it. But it really the only thing people would want from this is really the Teemo. And like
I do not think it is worth it though.
No, that's not worth it. No. But I do think this is because apparently they've stopped printing it from next month. So that's it, and there's gonna be no more supply of Teemo from next month.
Yeah, exactly. So it will run out even more, and it's going to be even harder
Even
to
harder
get a
than, oh my
chemo in
goodness.
a high grade,
Yeah.
because the cards in itself will be sticking in these little packs. They're not
Yeah.
very well supported, and the card will
Okay.
bend, and
Okay.
it will get
Right, right.
damaged.
Okay.
So I think that high graded Timo will hold even more of
Well,
a
even
premium.
more. Yeah.
And if we don't have the real numbers of what's the odds of a Timo GGZ,
That's
but
the
it
point.
seems like it is not one out of the Nexus kit, because my local game store tried opening one, and in all of the 48 packs there was not a Timo GGZ.
Really.
So what it seems like, it is one out of 80, roughly one out of two Nexus kit.
Okay. So 1 out of 2 of the that box we just saw earlier. You
Yes.
think, okay, and it's just selling for crazy numbers. I mean, we see a number of 3K
Well,
sales
is
here.
it crazy numbers?
Yeah, like 3K in terms of dollars for PSA 10, and like it's just climbing. Well, it's hit that price point of 3K now, but like I think it's gonna keep climbing. Raw, we're looking at 800, 900, and like you said, there are so few PSA 10s of this as well. Let's see if there's one sold by PSA. Don't know if it'll show here how many. So there's 34 PSA 10s right now. Like that's nothing.
Mhm.
Like that's nothing, and
That
I
is
feel like,
nothing.
yeah, and I feel like that number is gonna stay so low, and like that's it. I feel like, yeah, it's really never gonna see a lower space than what we see now, which is like what, 600 or maybe 600 is the lowest. Let's give or take. I just don't see it hitting below that anymore, because there's just none left. There's absolutely none left, and this is gonna be that one item that every league plan can collectively say, it's cool, I would like to have it, I want it. And then we have Nexus Knights 2, which supposedly just don't have any sort of chase card, because of course it's been out in China for some time, and we've not seen anything. We saw GG Easy in China first, and even that was a good. I should have bought one. I should even, like, I saw it for £100, the English one, and I thought, oh, it's gonna drop in price, it'll be fine. Then 150, oh, it's gonna drop in price, it'll be fine. Then 200, oh, and it just kept creeping up, and I just, every time I looked at it, it was slowly getting out of my price range, and then I just couldn't get it anymore, and I was sad. Yeah, I was sad.
Well, I think from a collector standpoint, I don't think you should be chasing a card. I think that you don't need every opportunities to be successful.
Yeah.
I think it is important that you recognize which card are undervalued and
Yeah.
the reasons for why it is, and then you're just buying. So there's like two ways of investing, in my opinion. So there's the sealed product and the sealed product, you're basically betting on the game itself.
Yeah.
It is slower, but it is safer. While the singles, you're betting on specific cards. It has a higher risk but higher reward.
Yeah.
I think from a collector's standpoint, I think you want to be holding both.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And like, I think, no, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think for League of Legends, I think it's such a it's much safer. I think, well, at least we're in the space we're in right now. I think it's quite safe to grab any of the cards that are here right now, because again, it's so fresh and it's such short supply as well. And again, I feel like we've entered in such a weird space, because again, everyone moved into the One Piece space with the same sort of drive and ferocity as they were in Pokemon, where the supply was enormous, and now they're just in a space where there's nothing, and so everything's being sucked up. And I think with here, it's such a if I pulled the overnumbered Teemo, not the signed one, but just overnumbered, and I'm just holding it. I don't want. Yes, it's probably going to dip in price for some time, but I just know in a few years' time it will climb up. Maybe it's worth £100 now, probably a bit less, but at some point it will be worth like 500, 600. It could be a couple years down the line, but just because I know we're so early in the TCG that like there's just so much opportunity. So I thought, I honestly, I recommend people to just buy like most items they want. Like even like I showed it earlier, the Wind Rider Yasuo, like Wind Rider. I feel like this card is just absolutely gorgeous. I feel like it's such a great rendition. It's probably one of my top 10, top 5 favorite cards in Riftbound so far.
Yeah.
Like it just what's the word? I can't, the word isn't moving right now, but like it just captures Yasuo so well. And it's like what's the market price, like $3? Like this is these are cards I would tell people to just buy. If you love Yasuo, just buy as many as you can. Just keep them somewhere safe in a sleeve and a top loader, because in the years to come, once it's out of print, this is gonna just climb.
Do you see the pricing chart?
Yeah.
The market price history.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, it's a very easy indicator. You remember the cycle that I was talking about?
Yeah.
So initially you have the hype. The card goes up to slightly over $8, right?
Yeah.
And then you can see the hype slows down, and then people start fearing, and the item in itself is crashing. And now you have that straight line that is horizontal. That is your accumulation. That's where
right
price
now.
are stable.
Yeah,
and then from there, it depending on the direction of the game, if the game is going good and then Yasuo has more demand and there's more Yasuo players coming into Riftbound, then all you can see is having that card increase. It increased to $100 no, but if it goes back to $8 right there, you got like 3 or 4x your money.
And I do think it has an opportunity to, honestly, I'm so bullish on this sort of card, like just how gorgeous it is. I know it's going to be in super high supply, but high supply, you know, relative to kind of the amount of stock there is in Riftbound right now. Like, you know, I think it's a shame. You know, I have to say, and I plan to do a video on this in terms of like, we're 3 months now. You know, Riftbound has been out for 3 months now, and like 3 months on, like the supply issue has been so rough. And I really don't think they're going to be able to solve the supply issue for at least until like, so Radiance is coming out in, I don't know, probably like December this year, or maybe November. But I feel like they may just start to get their footing with Radiance. I really think like Spirit Forge is going to be just absolutely horrible to get. You know, we're seeing, you know, pre-orders for like double the price.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, and I can explain on why. So I think it was yesterday they came out with the new rule. When you're playing,
the Chinese, you can use any language now.
You can mix your deck with different languages. That's so from there, it will create it will help players being able to get
stuck.
You know, Chinese card, French card, German card, no matter the language that they're doing.
That's a great point.
So right there, I think it will definitely help. And on the short term, it will definitely increase the price of maybe Chinese product. But all in all, I don't think it's gonna do a bad impact on the English cards in itself. If it's good collectible card, it will be good, and it will also mean that English box will not be open as much now. So on and all, I think it's good.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on Spirit Forge Gallery? On Spirit Forge, this set, because I like it. So I to be honest, I think it's a really good set. I think if I just find Descending, like, what do you think of the overnumbered signs? So I like so it's inspired by the Spirit Blossom skin line. I do think they are, so I'm so confused by Vayne, I'll be honest. I think everyone else kind of, it fits the theme, you know, Felios, Irelia, even Ahri. Ahri's just like cute, you know, she's cute, she's got her feralness. It works well. This card is going to be just I think it's going to be the absolute chase card because it's just Ahri. Like, all the cards here look dope, but what do you think about Vayne? I find this so odd, and I feel like League players would probably find this odd because we've only known Vayne as like that what's the word? You know, a lady that is very hard-boiled, you know, really just, it doesn't care. All she wants to do is just win, and now we're seeing her in like a dainty kind of soft space. Like, what do you think about this of this card particularly, and then just Spirit Forge in general?
It does look strange. I was hoping we would see the crossbow more in the front of the card, not like on her back. I don't think it does represent. I don't think it represents Vayne well, but I also understand the market for waifu. And I do believe that in that market,
the
waifu
is crazy.
It is. It's gonna be very interesting, this set, because I think that the two main cards that will hold the most premium will be Ahri, the one that you're looking at, and the other one will be Irelia.
I think so too. This Ahri though, this waifu card is just absolutely crazy. They have, I think this card alone would draw a lot of people into the TCG. Like they've done such a, like, the thing is, we've always known it as well. With all the skin arts that they show, they've always known how to to hit that waifu player base. This card has just put it in stone, and I think this card is going to do so well, and I think that's fine. For better for worse, I'm not too sure, but it's just this card is going to absolutely knock it out the park. And I think this card here though is just a very dope card. I think it's a great artwork. It doesn't fully, I think it's not the greatest representation of Aurelia, but it does show her in an amazing light, because we know that yes, she can be, she will pentakill the whole team so super easily. She just comes out of a bush and GG, your whole team's dead. But then this also shows her character in that sort of softer light, but she can still also do the same thing. And so I really do like this rendition of her, and I think they've done a great job with this one as well. I agree with you that Ahri and Irelia will be the top two in this one for sure.
Yeah, and also I think a very important part also for the Ahri card is not just the signature variant, but just the overnumber will be high demand, just because you will be able to have not for Irelia but for Ahri itself.
Okay. Oh, that's true.
Because Ahri has a legend card overnumbered, and now you'll be able to have also Ahri champion unit as the overnumbered.
That's a good point.
So you'll be able to pimp your deck to the maximum rarity.
That's so true. Pimping your deck is a point I've never even thought about, because again I don't really play it right now. As I said before, my brain is just fried from League of Legends. I can't play anything, but like that's so pimping your deck. That's so true. I think they should do more of this, definitely. If any card that has a legend, if they're very popular champion, give them a champion unit overnumbered as well. I think that's so smart of them. Yeah, this card, that's so pimping your deck, and why not? Like, why not just come up with, just stun on some people, have it in a top loader. I'm sure, I don't know if they're allowed like graded cards in your deck, probably not, but like just stun in like with this.
Not in your deck, but your legend you could do it.
Oh really?
Yeah. But I've seen it because I play Riftbound like weekly. I play 3 to 4 times a week, and I see people with their overnumbered card. So I see Ahri player with the overnumbered card.
Really? Just flexing for no reason.
Yeah. So they have it in a magnetic little case.
Oh man.
And they do that for Kaisa, they do that for Set, they do that for every champion. I've seen it on every Legends.
That's crazy.
So we'll definitely see that Ahri card having a huge demand. It's going to be very interesting to look at the pricing point. But I think my favorite one, and it has nothing to do with value, it is Bard. I just love the card in itself. I think it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. I think so too. Like they've done such a good job at this. I feel like what I appreciate and what I love with the skin lines of League is that they show the characters in so many different lights. We have the Battle Academia champions. So randomly, suddenly you get Darius in like a school space, but like they do it in such a good way that now it's sort of canon. Now it's like, yes, Darius is a crazy guy, but also we have Darius, the school Darius. So like seeing like Bard like this, I feel like it's such a great representation of like that part of Bard they've given us. And I think this is just so gorgeous. What are his creatures called again? Numerals? What are they called? Meeps? Meeps, was it?
I do not.
It's been so long. Yeah, it's like I've played it for so long that like I've just forgotten the name of a bunch of things. Like it took me ages to remember the poros, like the small furry creatures. Like Meeps, let me see. Bard, tiny things. Meeps. What are they called? Chimes, that's it. Chimes, my goodness.
Chimes?
Yeah, chimes. Like these little chimes where you run around and grab XP, like they're so iconic as well. They're so iconic.
Yeah,
and like even how just floating around, and Bard is great, and I think this card is beautiful as well. And I guess I want all the cards to do really well price point wise, but of course each champion, support champions will just have less of a demand because less people play support. But like for example, Soraka here, they did such a beautiful job with Soraka. That's so gorgeous. Like it's just so pretty. We have Karma as sorry, that was Karma. Sorry, I meant to sorry. Yeah. Soraka, like so gorgeous here as well. So cool. Like I do hope these cards do well, especially cards like Soraka that champions.
The red cards. I do really love the red cards. I like the Lucian one.
I think it's dope. Yeah, it's dope.
Lucian is beautiful. I also like the Draven one.
Yeah.
There's so many cool cards. I like the Ezreal. There's
Yeah.
so many beautiful
I think it's all
cards,
gorgeous as
man.
well.
The
Yeah, yeah.
artwork.
Artwork is fantastic. I agree. Like I wasn't so I really love the cards as well. I was hoping they would do more in the sense of how they did with Origins, in like they gave everyone their own art direction. Whereas here they've kind of made them all in that two-tone. I do think these are all gorgeous colors. Like this Irelia here is just so sick. Like
It is.
what I appreciate is I think what I think would, and I probably maybe we've got about 15 minutes in, we can probably have another 10 minutes, but what I think they've done a really good job of is they've been able to capture this, like this already here looks like she has so much emotional depth and emotional intelligence around her character. Her pose there isn't like a surface level pose. There's so much grace in her pose, and I think that's because of the creation with what we've, I guess the image or the character we've formed in our heads of them, because we've played Aurelia for so many hours and thousands of hours, and we've kind of built this character who is will absolutely destroy your whole team, but he's also graceful with her swords and her voice lines, and so because of that, because of the amount of depth in a character, they've been able to create this card that has so much depth. Whereas, you know, I love Pokemon, I love One Piece and all these things, but when you see the cards, they feel quite surface. Like they're almost quite plain when you look at them. You can't really draw much from that. You can't really draw much of a story from that. Whereas looking at this picture here, you can draw a story from this. Like you can almost write an essay about like this one card. You know what I mean?
And you can definitely tell this is Irelia. And I think that's the most important part. Just like the Yasuo card, the Yasuo, the emotion through the Yasuo signature card, you can definitely tell it is Yasuo vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it did a fantastic job with that, for sure.
Fantastic job. And you can see here, for example, the green is like not emulating, but it's kind of like forming just right behind her, coming out, and probably coming with the swords, not swords. What does she use? It's not daggers.
The blades.
The blades. So blades. Yeah, blades.
Blades.
Yeah, blades. Blades is the best way to use it. And like, and then Jack's here, you know, the two tones coming from his pole and his lamp, and it's just
it's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. It just captures a deep story, and I feel like that is not just manifesting in the cards itself, but just like the demand and attachment that everyone's having to Riftbound as a whole. And like, we're here making a TCG, making a podcast episode about it. I was YouTube is currently being swarmed by it. People are going to tournaments, and like that it's manifesting in all areas of this space. And it all comes from that deep attachment we have from these characters. And I think not just Riftbound, it's just a testament to Riot Games and what they've done in League of Legends, in that we are enjoying the League of Legends characters in so many different mediums. We haven't touched on arcane another time. There's 2xKO. We have, of course, Riftbound. There's TFT that I still watch almost every day. There's obviously the MMO. Like, we're so attached to the League IP, and we just want to enjoy the League IP in all the mediums that they give it to us in.
Yeah, and they do have ways of making the arts even cooler. For instance, like with League of Legends, they could do an art that has, like, I don't know, Faker in it. So, you know, you're doing a Rise super collectible card with maybe the face of Faker or something like that. Or like T1 Rise, these kind of skin, and you have Faker face in the back. There's so many ways of making these cards like more collectible.
That's so crazy. Imagining like Faker just in the background. You can just see the back of his head, and you can see because you know his shoulders. He's a bit skinny, but you just know it's the Faker shoulder, the Faker hair, back of his head, and he's just there in the background with Rise. Oh my goodness.
Exactly. So there's definitely ways of making the cards even more collectible. And I just want to go back a little bit on how to spot undervalued cards, because you've been looking at cards earlier with the Victor and the Yasuo. Why they're not the same price as Kaisa and Ahri and all that. You got to look at popular characters, you look at low supply versions, and you got to look at cards that has low attention. So for instance, all the attention is on like Kaisa, on Ahri, and Teemo GG. So the opportunities when you're looking at a card like Yasuo, which Yasuo is a very popular
that's
champion.
we know, like I'm sure you're shocked as I am. Like, why is this not absolutely like $2,000 with Kaisa? Like this, like Yasuo, like this, like Lightning, like this is this is everything.
It is beautiful.
This is it's beautiful. This is everything Yasuo is. They've done a brilliant job in just encapsulating Yasuo in one card. Like, it's beautiful. Like you said, and you know, I'm here. We're both here wondering, like, how is it only like $650? Where like Kaisa, love the Kaisa card, it's 2.1k. Like, how did that happen? And like you said, yeah, it's finding that point. And I keep telling everyone whenever I talk about it on YouTube, I'm like, just buy the card. Whatever price point, even if it goes up on it, just buy it. Just buy it, because like I keep saying the Yasuo collectors are not here yet. Once they're here, like, it will just spiral out of control. Like, I'm so sure of it. Sorry.
So the reason why Kaisa is so expensive is because she's the meta defining of the first set. And I think just for that instance, she will stay at a decent price range. But she's definitely going to be crashing just like most cards. I think that the one that's going to survive the longest is definitely Ahri, because Ahri has a huge popularity. She is a B tier deck. She's not very strong, but you see a lot of people at local stores that are building these Ahri decks, and they're so passionate around it, and there's such huge demand for it. Why a D tier deck has a 5,000 in the PSA 10? So I think Jinx has to do with Arcane a little bit, and all the other ones are kind of in that state of like, we don't really know what it's worth, so we're just gonna go off scarcity.
That's a good point. But, like, we don't know what it's worth, and the collectors, the League of Legends players aren't here yet to really set the price. So we're just seeing them at a low price. We're kind of just leaving it. We're just watching it kind of coast around.
Yeah, and I actually want to ask you a question. I'm going to put you on the spot. But which card do you think is undervalued, and which one you think is overvalued?
Okay, so undervalued, I would definitely say Yasuo. Like, I would recommend, if anyone could get, if someone has some spare money in their hands, just buy the non-signed Yasuo. It's what it says here, market price is $52. That's crazy. Like, I would say buy like 3 in one go. Just buy it, put it into a sleeve, put away for a rainy day. Maybe buy 4 in total, grade 2, keep 2 just around. This is such a beautiful card. Like this, like I'm still so, every time I look at this card, I'm like, how is no one just fawning over it, just losing their minds over like this card? This is just everything. Like why I love Ahri, but I think Ahri has a lot of depth. You can't really capture Ahri in just one card, and I guess that's a testament to her character, and I guess Yasuo is in that sense a bit more binary, or a bit more surface level in terms of his character and sort of his lore. But like, this card has done such a good job in just encapsulating Yasuo that like, this is just a no-brainer. I would just buy this 1,000 times if I could. Just I'd stock up every time I got a paycheck. I'd buy like 2. Just keep buying. Just keep buying. This is just the most gorgeous card, and this, I'm telling you, once the Yasuo, because like, we know it, League of Legends players have such deep pockets, and I feel like mid laners and ADCs have the deepest pockets. Maybe even support laners. I feel like supports just like love their characters as well. But I feel like mid laners and ADCs have the deepest pockets, and so when Yasuo players actually come here, they will just buy everything. And I think Yasuo players like to think they're a bit too cool for school. Like, they won't admit that they love the card and they want to buy it, but we'll see it in the price point. I think this will just keep climbing and climbing and climbing. And I love to see a day where we have the where we're like in card shows. There's loads of people doing doing Riftbound. You know, we've both mentioned it. I want to vend one day, and I'd love to just, I don't really have much cards to sell right now, but I'd buy as many as I can. And I'd love one day to just have a few booths at the card show for League of Legends. And, you know, eventually there'll come a time where, you know, you will just see that people are walking around with these Yasuo cards, and I think Yasuo is such a sleeper. In terms of a Naba sleeper, because I want to ask you as well what you think of sleeper cards. Of course, we mentioned the Wind Rider Yasuo for about $3. I'd say just buy that up. I think this Leona card as well, I don't think it has as much of a trajectory in terms of its price. Because I think support characters are still, we know it, they're not niche, but they are they're just not as played as much, and support characters don't get to have as much depth to them in terms of their character, and so that attachment you form can't be as as grand as, say, you know, someone like you said, LeBlanc, who's just you know, the outplays with LeBlanc is just crazy. Every time you see it, you're just like, oh my goodness. You know, let's say that if she outplays you, you can be mad and you might shout, okay, she's overpowered and so on and so. But it's just what the player has done such a beautiful job in crafting what it did to kill you and your teammates and get away with it and continue to steamroll the game. And you know, like, I've lost my point because I was just it was such a good. I was just loving thinking about just how crazy these characters are. But yeah, so support players, you know, these characters, you can't have as deep a depth to their playstyle. You still have a great, and I don't mean to give any shade to support players. I played support all the time. I love Taric, old school Taric with the E point and click stun. I love Leona, but like it's hard to have as, you know, the same depth where you play like an ADC or a mid laner. But I think that Leona card as well is definitely a grab as well for sure. And I think one more. I think I want to say Victor's Arcane. I do want to say Victor's Arcane. I think its price point is a bit low because I think League of Legends players have known Victor as the machine hero Victor for the longest, and then of course only in the last like 4 or 5 years is he now like Arcane Victor. But I think people still love Victor as a character. So I think while it's a bit low right now in terms of demand, as more and more people get into the game, like, yes, it's not machine hero, but they will still grab him because it is Victor and we all love Victor. So those are my 3. What are yours? I know because I've just looked at the showcase. There are dope cards in the like epic and rare, but those are just my 3 that I thought of just now. What about you?
So I think on the last one, we really agree on the Victor Arcane signature. And not non-signature as well, but I think like the Victor signature is very cheap. There's a huge player base for Victor players on this game, like a huge player base. People really like playing around tokens, and I think just from that, I believe that player base will stay, and with set 2, Victor become even stronger. So I think like from that perspective, considering the amount of players that play Victor and the amount of popularity that is growing within this specific game, not just League of Legends, but mostly more like Riftbound, I think the card price is cheap. There's some cards I think in PSA 10 for like 2.5k Canadian dollars, so like more like around 1.8 or 2k. I think that is really cheap. I think Yasuo non-signature is really cheap. I think the signature one is fairly decent.
I think it's fairly
but decent price.
Yeah, I think it's fairly decent.
But the non-signature version is really cheap.
It's so cheap.
In terms of playable cards, I think that Kaisa Survivor is very low now. So she's like $80 when we know that she can go well above 100. And she's really important for set 2 for Annie and Draven builds. You need 3 of them. So I feel like this card will remain powerful and useful for important builds. And mind you, Annie and Draven are in the top 8 best decks
in like China right now, right?
Yes. So they're here to stay, and they're quite powerful, and being able to accelerate a Kaisa in and out is very powerful with both Annie and even more with Draven, because you get to draw more cards.
I'll need to watch more. So I did try to watch a few initially, but I couldn't wrap my head around it initially. I think anything game related, honestly, it's a shame. It's fine. My brain is just when it comes to video games, it's just goop. I still love them, but like, it's just goop. And honestly, as I'm sure many people, and I'm still people, if they're still here as well about an hour in, I'm sure they're clicking their fingers as well. Whenever I say like my brain is just goop, and they're like, yeah, me too, bro. Like my brain is just messed from League of Legends. Like I just can't play other things right now. I can't wrap my head around them. But okay. So
I can always explain at one point.
I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I think as we discuss these things, I think we could even have an episode where we talk more about the game itself, and I'll just ask loads of questions, and I think I can start to learn through that. And
then in terms of one thing that I think is really overpriced is the playing ground. I think that people should wait for set 2. The next packs will have a bunch of the important cards within the playground.
I think definitely. I think people should
Proving ground. Sorry.
Proving ground. I think people should not buy it. I agree. But I think the problem now is that it's going to become a collector's item for sure, because if you remember, they said that they're going to now they're going to use another printing company to print it because they need to get as many as they can onto the market. But it means that it won't be UVS. And actually, I still have one in my spare room. Like, if you look at it and look at the small print, you do see UVS logo. So the new ones won't have that UVS logo. So this will suddenly be like the OG version 1 of Proving Grounds, and so that would probably add the price up. And I luckily bought it at retail price, like £30, and it's like $200 a lot of the time. So like, and UK sells for like 120, but I shouldn't want to spend that much money on like a Proving deck. So that's the issue. But I think it's definitely a useful. The reason why I bought it was because it was like it'd be a cool memorabilia, like the very first instructory sort of box. So that's why I bought it. I mean, initially I wasn't really thinking to buy it, but then I thought, you know what, if I don't buy it now before the price, I saw the price getting crazy, and I knew someone still had some at retail price. So I bought one for me and my sister-in-law. So my sister-in-law trying to get into this TCG space because she grew up in Pokemon, she likes One Piece, but she doesn't really buy this stuff. So whenever I buy something that I want to hold, I just buy her one as well sometimes. So I bought me and her one. I bought me and her the Worlds bundle, and yeah, I think these are cool things to hold. I like them because it's just memorabilia. Like, yeah.
No, I agree. I think that Proving Ground is a good collectible item. I'm just talking more for the players itself.
Right.
One of the reasons why the price in itself is still quite high is because of certain cards within that player Proving Ground.
Like, it's like
so flashes,
Flash,
yeah. Any flashes, Master Yi, like those are expensive.
Right.
So that's why they still hold like a lot of value. Obviously, them not reprinting or changing the logos and all that adds collectible. But I'm just saying, in terms of playable, I don't think it's worth for people to buy.
That makes sense, and as they've shown in the second Nexus Knights, you will have Flash and the Proving Ground characters as well, so that will help a lot for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man. Cool. Okay, I guess so. We're an hour and 8 minutes. Sorry, say again.
I said that was fun.
That was great. This was great. I had so much fun. There's so much to talk about. I think we can talk the next episode on like the special sets, like you said, like a Rise Faker, and Faker's in the background, like a Z Faker, and just ADCs as well. The old ADC like Uzi and Mata, and then there's so many people from so many generations of like League esports. Like, you can have such a sick specialty set. There's so many. It's like Garen. You can have like Demacia versus Noxus. There's so many things you can do with it. There's so much to talk about. We can probably start off with that next time, and then there's probably more to talk about. Maybe by then people have got their arcane boxes. I know some are being sent out now. So yeah, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having another conversation about Riftbound in its state. But thanks for inviting me, and I appreciate the conversation. That was very, very insightful and fun.
I had so much fun as well. Let's do this again. Maybe same time next week. We'll figure out do another video, and I guess we'll leave it there, guys. Those that are still watching, and we're about an hour in. To be honest, League Legends people have a great attention span for things they love. So I'm sure there are a bunch of people still here. If you guys enjoyed it, please join us in the conversations. Just chime away. Just whatever you want, we're here to discuss. Of course, like the video. If you want to subscribe, definitely do it. As I say it all the time, like, I do subscribe to channels, but it does take me a while before I subscribe. I'll watch them for weeks and months, and I'll realize, wait, I'm not subscribed yet, so I just subscribe. So don't have any pressure to subscribe. Really enjoy your time here. Give us a subscribe. There's no pressure. There's no rush. Just enjoy your time here and keep watching. And we're having a good time as well. So, Alex, man, thank you so much for joining. Let's do this again. I'll probably release this on Sunday. I find that if I've not posted for a while, Saturday will always do fine, but then the Sunday gets pushed up really well as well. So I'll probably post this on a Sunday, like 9 a.m., just probably a Sunday watch people can do. And then I will keep the momentum going so that I will post our next one on next Saturday. And then that would sort of really push the momentum up as well. I think for the first one we'll do on Sunday, kind of make sure it gets a good steady flow of viewers. And then we're good to go, to be honest.
Sounds good.
Awesome, man.
Well, thanks again.
Thanks for catch you soon. Catch you next one. And guys, catch you guys soon. See the cards out. And thank you all.